Nobody expected this. We already knew Clive Davis was believed to be the man behind Diddy's alleged criminal empire, but now it appears there was trouble behind the scenes. Newly leaked voicemail reportedly suggests that Diddy felt neglected and abandoned by Clive Davis and was threatening to expose Clive before his death.
I really don't know what's going on with you, but I just want to just give you a heads up that I'm about to really disappear on you. You feel me? I'm not going to be playing these games with you at all, at all. So I don't know, you think you silent treating me, and you think I'm gonna be, nah. You'll have a rude awakening. You'll just have silence. Nah, it ain't never gonna work like that over here. You know what I'm saying? I was trying not to leave this message, but you have left me no choice.
For all this time, we believed Clive Davis may have secretly been supporting and protecting Diddy throughout the trial and while he was in prison. But that doesn't appear to have been the case after all. This leaked voicemail from Diddy strongly suggests that Clive had completely separated himself from Diddy and his alleged crimes to protect himself.
I have to ask you, what was your favorite memory working with Diddy?
You know, personally, I've got to tell you, he really is a major star in this film tonight. He's a spokesman all the way through. I met him before I ever knew of him. I met him when he was 21 years old. And when we met, you know, he played me Craig Mack's Flavor in Your Ear. He played me 3 cuts from the forthcoming Notorious B.I.G. album. And we talked for hours and hours about music. And I bought into his dream. And I financed Bad Boy Records. And we had an incredible run, an incredible period.
For years, one question has followed music executive Clive Davis whenever Diddy made headlines. Just how close were the two men behind the scenes? When Jaguar Wright was asked that exact question, she didn't hold back. It all began after Clive Davis was spotted walking into an event following Diddy's arrest. Reporters approached him and asked about Diddy. But instead of giving a direct answer, Davis reportedly acted as if he didn't even know who they were referring to.
A lot of people are curious about the status of P. Diddy.
Status of what?
P. Diddy. Diddy.
Like Puppy. The status of Puppy.
What do you make of that situation?
His responses, or the lack of them, immediately grabbed people's attention. Was Clive Davis truly confused? Was it simply because of his age? Or was he trying to separate himself from someone whose name has become surrounded by controversy? Clive Davis may have been the biggest criminal in the industry.
You mentioned Clive Davis. They just showed him recently walking into somewhere, and they asked him about Diddy, and he said, "Who?" Is that old age, or does he not? They're not in the same world, or they're in the same world, but they're not cohorts.
He's definitely been his ex.
Oh, okay.
I would call that the same world.
Okay. Pretty intertwined.
And for him to say Diddy who is his way of saying, I'm not talking about Sean anymore. Maybe he's been playing cozy with the other Sean. Maybe he just got him another Sean.
So no one tells P. Diddy what to do, like?
Absolutely.
Who tells him what to do?
Clive Davis in the beginning. No, he didn't empower him. That could put his on a block. He gave him power. And all he had to do was diddle-dee-dee and diddle-dee-dum. Like, he wasn't gonna tell Gene and them that's how he was getting the money.
Right.
Let's be real about that. You think he was going to admit to these we went to school with, who essentially he asked to come to make his G official? Like you heard him say, Christopher Williams, street nigga, gangster nigga, Pete Rock, I'll Be Short, they from the hood. You know what I'm saying? Gene Deal. Like, ain't nobody looking at how Puff positioned himself. There was a wall of protection and talent and brilliance around him. Nobody had to look at him for real. And the truth is nobody did. Everybody laughed and joked about him dancing like a idiot in all them god videos. Twirling around in circles and This been wild. Like, you know. So I'm just saying, they didn't know. And he wasn't telling them. They just know he got the budget. He go to LA, he talk to Clive, he come back with the bread. Apparently, he has this man's confidence. Yeah, I'm sure that man was very confident with his in his mouth. You know what I'm saying? Clive is a whole freak.
You think Clive put him on to all
I know. Clive, that's what he do. Queen Clive. Long may she reign in hell.
When 50 Cent
Don't nobody want to talk about why R. Kelly's bus was parked in Clive Davis's driveway, why his tour bus was parked in Clive Davis's driveway at the house where the went down between Chris and Rihanna. Don't nobody want to talk about why it was filled with video girls who were being
And according to Jaguar Wright, Diddy wasn't the only person who wanted to expose Clive Davis. He claimed Angie Stone was also preparing to do the same before she was allegedly silenced. You see, Angie Stone died under highly mysterious circumstances in a car crash, as many outspoken celebrities in Hollywood reportedly seem to. Based on her own experiences in the music industry and what she claimed to have learned over the years, Jaguar said she believed the situation appeared suspicious. She questioned why, if everything was truly an accident, there were reports that non-disclosure agreements, or NDAs, were involved.
Saying, in my opinion, and all of my investigative knowledge for all of the years that I have been in the industry, investigating the industry, and all the harm that it does, it looks like a sacrifice to me. It looks like a sacrifice to me. Why do you need NDAs for an accident? Haven't I asked that question on this couch before?
Right.
Why do you need an NDA for an accident? If it's an accident, it's an accident. Anything said or brought about, there should be no pushback. There should be no hush-hush. A lot of people going missing. That driver's missing now, too.
Right.
He went to work, turned in his truck, said he was traumatized, and just disappeared. Aaron Hall style.
But we got to get your take because, again, this is something that not only Suge Knight have come out and said, but Whitney's, I believe it's her own cousin, I think it was, not her sister, but saying that Ray J really had something to do with it. And they said if we really go back and look at it, from the party continuing with Clive to Ray J walking out, covering his face, being
hiding under a jacket while I believe, wasn't it Waffles?
Yeah, Waffles.
That scurried him out the back. As he walked past the bus that had Whitney in it, even though they had another one reported in the pictures of that. Yeah.
Should we look further into when we see things like this, that this is before social media was what social media was?
We should always look further because there's always lies. Always. So many people didn't even acknowledge Angie's passing.
Right.
It was almost like they were told not to.
Many people believed that Angie had been getting ready to expose powerful figures in the music industry. Jaguar doesn't believe that was how it started. Jaguar claimed Angie had come to believe that she had been financially exploited. She said Angie wanted her money returned and, according to Jaguar, was ready to speak publicly about what she believed had taken place, including making allegations involving Clive Davis.
Oh, trying to blow the whistle on her.
No, she wasn't trying to. She found out they robbed her blind. She wanted her money back, and she was ready to expose Queen Davis.
Correct. Tyler Perry spoke up for her.
No, he didn't.
Oh.
Okay.
That's not what I would call that. That sound more like to me, where's my cut?
Ooh.
That's what that sound like to me. Because Monique was very right about one thing. You don't get to be outraged over Angie when you did the same thing to her. And still doing it lightweight. You don't get to be outraged over Angie after what you done to Monique.
Now, before any of these people could expose Clive Davis, they were either sent behind bars or suddenly died. And now, just as perhaps Clive's biggest protege was about to expose him, he has passed away. Could this be another scheme? Is it possible he faked his death to escape the fallout from Diddy's alleged expose? Seems doubtful. For now, it appears that Clive Davis died before the truth about him could fully come to light.
Tell me Clive Davis has passed away at the age of 94. I woke up shocked this morning because this man has single-handedly outlived majority of the artists he was connected to. And listen, I know that there are some people who are probably in his family or X, Y, and Z that are very, very sad. But what I am saying is I need a documentary. I need a documentary of the artist that he was connected to that seemingly had a weird passing that happened. You know, a lot of people don't like Clive Davis for the mere fact of when Whitney Houston passed away, he continued with his pre-Grammy party saying the show must go on, and they hadn't even removed Whitney Houston's body from upstairs. There are some people who don't like him because of what happened to Janis Joplin, Phyllis Hyman, all these artists that we've heard out throughout history. And I'll say this, okay? When they came for Diddy, a lot of us, including myself, was like, when is Clive going to be next? When is he going to be next? And Clive has escaped somehow. He escaped somehow, y'all. I don't know about y'all, but I grew up on the side of YouTube, okay, that talks about it all. That talks about it all. And I'll say this, if they were right about Diddy, allegedly, you know, he is in prison right now, allegedly, then what else could they have been right about? I need a documentary. 50 Cent, get on that.
Now, Amaya mentioned several names, and their experiences with Clive Davis were also deeply troubling. The stories surrounding Clive Davis didn't begin with today's headlines. According to her, they stretch back decades. And some of the biggest names in music have shared their own experiences with one of the industry's most powerful executives. Yet each member of the group reportedly received only $50,000.
Because TLC had generated on Crazy Cool $75 million and they gave us $50,000 a piece. So I was like, what the hell? So, of course, Lisa was the ringleader.
Like, we need to go get our money. I need to know where my MF and money's at.
So, you know, she was locked up in the diversion center for burning down the house. And she was just like, okay, we gonna get LaFace and them girls I was locked up with, we gonna drive up there, we gonna take the guns. And then we had this limo driver.
Wait, she just got out of jail?
Yes.
Okay, okay.
And we had the limo driver, and he was the getaway car. So we went up there and held everybody hostage, and Puffy was the one that snitched us out. Yo, B, yo, your girl's up here mad bugging, yo.
Do you ever have nightmares about TLC holding you hostage that time?
Records interrupted a meeting with Diddy and wouldn't leave till Clive ponied up more cash for their hit album.
While the story was shared with plenty of humor, it also revealed just how frustrated Telly said they had become. Jaguar said she completely understood why they felt that way, because she claimed she had experienced something very similar herself. She remembered confronting an executive at Macca over money she believed she was owed, saying artists sometimes felt they had to go to great lengths just to receive fair payment. An interview with legendary singer Phyllis Hyman.
I was so terrorized by him. Whether he meant to do it or not, I'll never know. But he sure taught me that if you try to terrorize me again, well, we can't say that on public radio. What I may do to someone who tries to hurt me again in this business, I'm not having it. I should be respected as I respect, and I will not have someone try to ruin my spirit.
Interestingly, this interview was recorded shortly before Phyllis Hyman passed away. In fact, it appears Phyllis had several situations involving Clive Davis where she repeatedly found herself in positions in which Clive held the upper hand over her.
When it comes to Phyllis Hyman, she had a lot of incidents with Clive Davis, but there was one incident that stands out the most. By the start of 1984, Phyllis Hyman had $50,000 in unpaid bills. She owed a lot of people money, she couldn't pay her staff, and her record label Arista, they were trying to work with her. Money was getting tight, so Phyllis and her manager, they set up a meeting with the record label. The meeting was to talk about her finances and future plans with the label. And I think she was hoping to leave with the check after. But they would shut that down fast, as Phyllis would find out she owes the label $429,000. Also around this time, Clive is locked in on Whitney Houston, who he sees as his next big star. And even after finding out that she owes money, she still tried to make it work with the label. So they have another meeting after that one, and this time around, Phyllis is going in with a clear mind and a clean slate. She wants to make everything right with Clive Davis. The meeting goes great, and from what Clive told her, he wanted to work things out with her. Once she leaves, she gets dropped from the label that same day. Even though he told her he wanted to work things out and wanted to keep working with her. This put her in a bad spot because now she's a free agent, but she still owes them the money. Hyman died from an overdose back in 1995. It broke everybody's heart, but what a lot of people don't know is that when she was found that day, she was still alive. By now we all know, Phyllis Hyman did not have the best mental health, and this is something that really affected her life. She believed that she wasn't good enough, and she struggled with bipolar disorder. And even with all of that, I don't think nobody expected for her to take her own life. And I think when we talk about her death, we always make it seem like she was already gone when she was found. But truth is, she was still alive. On June 30th, 1995, Phyllis Hyman was found in her New York apartment. Her friends, they went over to her place as they were going to go with her to the Apollo Theater. So they were in the lobby waiting for her, and she never showed up. So they went up to her apartment and they found a sign on the door that said she was taking a nap. They knew something was wrong, so they started talking to each other, and that's when they make a game plan to break down her door. So when they break down her door, they find her in her bed with a bathing suit and a robe on. She had a sleeping mask on too to cover her eyes, and that just tells you just how far gone she was from this world already. And they find her suicide note right below her hand, and when they were reading it, they could tell that the handwriting, it was a little shaky. As she was writing the letter, the drugs started to kick in. At first when they find her, they're looking for a pulse and they can't find one, so they run downstairs to the lobby where her other friends are at. They grab her other friend because she was in the medical field. She runs upstairs and she finds a weak pulse on Phyllis. They call EMTs and they rush her to the hospital where she was pronounced dead 90 minutes later. Phyllis Hyman was such a good person, and it's so sad to see how things ended for her.
This is why Diddy threatening to expose Clive Davis is such a major development. It's the student turning against the master. Jaguar has repeatedly claimed that Diddy didn't create his own playbook. Instead, she believes he learned everything from Clive Davis. In her opinion, the methods people now accuse Diddy of using were already part of a system that had existed in the music industry for decades. One of Jaguar's biggest allegations centers on Whitney Houston. According to Jaguar, Whitney had begun realizing that large amounts of money were missing from her earnings. Jaguar claimed Whitney was preparing to leave Clive Davis's record label after discovering she wasn't receiving what she believed she had rightfully earned.
Davis had something to do with Whitney Houston's unaliving because she was getting ready to leave Clive Davis's record label because she realized she was missing a whole bunch of money. And a lot of people thought it was terrible when Clive Davis continued to party even though Whitney Houston had just died in the same hotel. And then to add that with even more mystery, it was super weird when Whitney Houston gave this note to Brandy the night before she passed away. And honestly, I want to know what that note says more than anything, honestly, in the world. And then after Whitney Houston passed away, Bobby Brown's sister started saying that Whitney's death was no accident and saying that Bobbi Kristina was not safe.
Whitney Houston's body told anybody upon looking at it that it was foul play. Okay, don't get it twisted. No, Whitney Houston, I counted at least 10 gashes in her chest alone. She had marks up and down her legs. Her fingernails were. Her face was out. It was blown up. Yes, as if somebody was punching her in the face. Whitney Houston fought for her life.
Jaguar Wright claimed that this happened to Whitney Houston because she was trying to leave Clive Davis. And then she said the same thing happened to Bobbi Kristina because Bobbi Kristina inherited Whitney Houston's estate. And Jaguar Wright claimed that Bobbi Kristina's boyfriend had a meeting with Clive Davis, and this is how Clive Davis basically set it up to make the same thing happen to Bobbi Kristina.
According to Jaguar, Bobbi Kristina's boyfriend, Nick Gordon, allegedly met with Clive Davis before everything took place. Jaguar claimed that meeting was part of a bigger plan, although she did not present evidence to support that allegation. The conversation became even more intense when Bobby Brown's sister shared her own account of what happened. She claimed Nick Gordon came into Bobbi Kristina's life shortly before Whitney's death. According to her, Nick was responsible for taking her life.
Just wait till you hear what Bobby Brown's sister had to say about Bobbi Kristina's passing.
Basically, right before Whitney was, Nick was brought into the picture. And when Nick did that to Bobbi Kristina and she was rushed to the hospital, because after he beat her and drug her up them steps, he brought her up with something and threw her in the bathtub. It was a setup. It was a setup. Yes. Nick was told not to let her go out of that house and to do whatever it was he got paid to do.
Brief question for you. I watched a couple of your interviews and you talked about taking Clive Davis hostage. And I just wanted to, because we seen the movie, so I wanted
that happened.
Yeah, I wanted to just touch on that and just get the outcome of that, like what,
the real deal.
Yeah, what happened, what transpired
really
after that.
Okay, well, at that time, we had already left Pebbles, and so we had a lot of questions. We weren't making any money, and we were selling albums and all that, and so LaFace Records was, they point to Arista, and Arista would point back to them. And so we're like, well, let's just go to the head. And that is Clive Davis. Right. So Lisa met a few friends when she was, after the burning of the house and everything, she was in a little trouble. She was at this little center.
Oh, Lisa.
And she met some tough girls. They were big. No, I'm serious, like way bigger than you, like huge. Like you would almost think they were like dudes, but they were girls, like look like this, but like, hey, like that. You remember them, I know you do. So she gathered her crew, and she and she and those girls, and Tion drove.
And Tay-Tay.
Yeah, and Tay-Tay, which is Tion's cousin. Tay-Tay don't play. And they drove to New York. I got on a plane, met them there, and we had a plan. So, we didn't have any plaques. We didn't have nothing. So we instructed the girls. We said, all right, we're going to go up to Arista, and I said, we're going to call, and I said, I'm going to do the talking. And because, Chili's the sweet one. Okay. I am sweet. If you cross me, I'm not. So anyway, no.
I was about to say, she's sweet, but
don't mess with me. Right. But anyway, so and we told the girls, when we go there, go on every floor. I can't remember how many floors there were at Arista at the time, and we said anything that says TLC, from the plaque to a regular poster, we don't care what it is, get it. And go and put it in the limo. We had already talked to the limo driver. He was ready. He was like, okay, cool, I'll park right here and I won't leave until y'all say so. So we call up, ring, 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 hey, it's TLC for Clive. He's like, hi, girls, how are you doing? I was like, hey, Clive, we're in town, we miss you, we haven't seen you in a while, we want to come up and say hi. Yeah, girls, come on.
Stories from the group describe just how desperate they became while trying to recover the money they believed they were owed.
Got the girls going, and then we go in the room, and then, Lisa's cousin, I don't remember, what? No, Tay-Tay is Tion's cousin. Lisa's cousin was there too. You know who I'm talking about. And we walked into Clive's office. Puffy was in there playing that's when he was Puffy, playing his music and stuff. And so, we walk in, and of course everybody's like friendly and ready to say hello. And Tion's cousin walks over, at the time it was a tape, stops the tape, gives it to Puffy and says, TLC's got a meeting with Clive and you got to go. Your meeting's over. And Tough Puffy is like, he didn't put up a fuss or nothing, but he was confused, of course, and so.
And what's funny is he told me the exact same story from him. His perspective was the funniest.
So he goes out, and we have one of the girls acting as security outside of that door, and we said, don't let anybody in or out unless we say so. Okay, so Clive is like, girls, what's going on? And so we're like, we need to talk to you, because we're broke, we don't have no money, and LA is talking about you, and like, we just going on and on and on. And there was another person that needed to be in that meeting who handled finances and stuff there. So he called him on the intercom or whatever and said, come to the office. Then the guy calls back, he's like, those ladies or bodyguards won't let me in. So, and mind you, somebody's already called the NYPD, because the other girls are like going all around taking plaques down and everything. And so, of course, can you imagine like working? You're like, wait a minute, what's happening right now? Are we getting robbed? And so, after that, the other gentleman comes in, and I start talking, and then I get all emotional because I'm mad, I'm crying, and so this is like for real. And we said, it's not fair. We're selling all these records, and we don't have anything to show for it. Like, this is not right.